the hearts of those who disbelieve, for what they have associated with Allah, of which He had not sent down any authority, and their refuge will be the fire, and wretched is the residence of the wrongdoer. And Allah had certainly fulfilled His promise to you when you were killing them, the enemy, by His promise until the time when you lost courage and fell to disputing about the order given by the Prophet, and disobeyed after he had shown you that which you love. Among you are some who desire this world, and among you are some who desire the hereafter. Then he turned you back from them defeated, and he might test you. And he has already forgiven you, and Allah is the possessor of bounty for the believers. Remember when you fled and climbed the mountain without looking aside at anyone while the messenger was calling you from behind. So Allah repaid you with distress upon distress, so you would not grieve for that which had escaped you of victory and spoils of war, or for that which had befallen you of injury and death. And Allah is fully acquainted with what you do. Then after distress, He sent down upon you security in the form of drowsiness, overcoming a faction of you, while another faction worried about themselves, thinking of Allah other than the truth. The thought of ignorance, saying, "Is there anything for us to have done in this matter?" Say, "Indeed, the matter belongs completely to Allah. They conceal within themselves what they will not reveal to you." They say, "If there was anything we could have done in this matter, we, some of us, would not have been killed right here." Say, "Even you have been inside your houses, those decreed to be killed would have come out to their deathbed. It was so that Allah might test what is in your breast and purify what is in your hearts, and Allah is knowing of that within the breast. Indeed, those of you who turn back on the day the two armies met at Uhud, it was Satan who caused them to slip because of some blame they had earned, but Allah has already forgiven them. Indeed, Allah is forgiving and forbearing. O you who have believed, do not be like those who disbelieved and said about their brothers when they traveled through the land or went out to fight, "If they had been with us, they would not have died or have been killed." So Allah makes that misconception a regret within their hearts. And it is Allah who gives life and causes death, and Allah is seeing of what you do. And if you are killed in the cause of Allah or die, then forgiveness from Allah and mercy are better than whatever they accumulate in this world. And whether you die or are killed, unto Allah you will be gathered. So by mercy from Allah, O Muhammad, you were lenient with them. And if you had been rude in speech and harsh in heart, they would have disbanded from out about you. So pardon them and ask forgiveness from them and consult them in the matter. And when you have decided, then rely upon Allah. Indeed, Allah loves those who rely upon Him. If Allah should aid you, no one can overcome you. But if He should forsake you, who is there that can aid you after Him? And upon Allah let the believers rely. It is not attributable to any prophet that he would act unfaithfully in regard to our booty. And whoever betrays taking unlawfully will come with what he took on the day of resurrection. Then will every soul be fully compensated for what it earned, and they will not be wrong. So is upon who pursues the pleasure of Allah like one who brings upon himself the anger of Allah, and whose refuge is hell, and wretched is the destination. They are varying degrees in the sight of Allah, and Allah is seeing of what they do. Certainly did Allah confer great favor upon the believers when He sent among them a messenger from themselves, reciting to them His verses and purifying them and teaching them the book, the Quran, and wisdom. although they had been before in manifest error. Why is it that when a single disaster struck you on the day of Uhud, although you had struck the enemy in the battle of Badr, with one twice as great, you said, "From where is this?" Say it is from yourself due to your sin. Indeed, Allah is over all things competent. And what struck you on the day the two armies met at Uhud was by permission of Allah, that He might make evident the true believers, and that He might make evident those who are hypocrites. For it was said to them, "Come, fight in the way of Allah, or at least defend." They said, "If we had known there would be fighting, we would have followed you." They were nearer to disbelief that day than to faith, saying with their mouths what was not in their hearts, and Allah is most knowing of what they conceal. Those who said about their brothers while sitting at home, "If they had obeyed us, they would not have been killed." Say, then prevent death from yourself if you should be truthful, and never think of those who have been killed in the cause of Allah as dead. Rather, they are alive with their Lord, receiving provision, rejoicing in what Allah has bestowed upon them of His bounty, and they receive good tidings about those to be martyred after them who have not yet joined them, that there will be no fear concerning them, nor will they grieve. They receive good tidings of favor from Allah and bounty, and of the fact that Allah does not allow the reward of believers to be lost. Those believers who responded to Allah and the Messenger after injury and struck them, for those who did good among them and feared Allah is a great reward. Those to whom people hypocrites said, "Indeed, the people have gathered against you, so fear them," but it merely increased them in faith. And they said, "Sufficient for us is Allah, and He is the best disposer of affairs." So they returned with favor from Allah and bounty. No harm have touched them, and they pursued the pleasure of Allah, and Allah is the possessor of great bounty. That is only Satan who frightens you of his support. So fear them not, but fear me, if you are indeed believers.